Hey everyone, this weekend I've got a test drive of the brand new Xpeng P7 for you. The weather on test drive day was absolutely perfect, sunny and clear skies. But with the tight schedule, I only had a small window of time to really dive into the driving experience. So I'll do my best to give you the rundown based on the limited roads I had available. First off, the test car is the top spec all-wheel drive version. The front motor puts out 167 kilowatts, the rear motor 270 kilowatts, giving it a power split of 1 to 1.62. Total power comes to 437 kilowatts, that's 594 horsepower. Now, in terms of raw power, this might not be the most insane car we've tested on the channel, but it's definitely up there. The real kicker here is the price. In China, you can get this kind of gorgeous design and strong performance for just $36,500. To put that in perspective, before the EV era, this price would only get you a Toyota Camry or Honda Accord. Forget about the BMW 3 Series. First, let's talk about the ride comfort. Today is a perfect day to test it out. Bright and sunny with the outdoor temperature pushing over 35 degrees Celsius. So we can really see if that 3-layer silver-coated glass on the panoramic sunroof can actually make us forget about the sunshade. The glass is crazy reflective under the scorching sun. You can see the intense glare bouncing off it, and the reflection of the car interior is super clear. It's only when you really look closely that you can tell what's happening outside. Compared to the windshield and rear window, the roof glass looks a lot darker. But the biggest win here is the heat insulation. Even with my head so close to the glass in the back seat, I don't feel a bit of heat. If you've ordered the latest Xpeng G6, you'll get that same 3-layer silver-coated glass, so you really don't need to bother with roof sunshades anymore. So this car's got a super low ground clearance, and with the air suspension and CDC dampers, the ride is incredibly stable. Even when the staff pushed the car with some aggressive acceleration, there was no noticeable pitch or dive. It felt rock solid. The ride quality is fantastic too. Even over some rough, bumpy roads, I could hardly feel any of the imperfections from the back seat. And the sound insulation, it's on point. Despite this test car being fitted with the budget-friendly Gitti tires and the road's pretty rough asphalt, I didn't get that low frequency pressure on my ears like I did in the G6. By the way, don't worry about the tires, they just fitted this test car with Gitti tires. The actual production vehicles will come with Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires, so that'll definitely make a better experience. Overall, the experience felt more like a high-end executive sedan like a BMW 5 Series or a Mercedes E-Class, or even better, rather than a sportier car. The ride quality is much better than a family sedan standard, which is really great. It's definitely more about comfort and luxury than sportiness. Let's talk about the driving experience. Oftentimes, drivers can anticipate the kind of road surface they're about to encounter and adjust their expectations accordingly. For example, when driving over a bumpy road at a relatively high speed, you'd expect to hear clunking noises and feel significant vibrations in the car body. However, this car didn't give me that kind of feedback. And this unexpected behavior felt extremely strange. How should I describe it? It's as if the road was covered with a layer of rubber like that used on a sports track, absorbing every impact the wheels encountered. As a result, the road feel of this car is very unclear, with a tuning that's completely oriented toward comfort. You pass over road seams, no feeling. You go over manhole covers, no feeling. You drive over bumpy surfaces, no feeling. Due to this completely distorted feedback, if you drive aggressively, it might lull you into a false sense of security. For example, during the test drive, when passing over a moderately bumpy road, the wheels lost traction and the car experienced a slight lateral drift. The speed hadn't even reached 80 kilometers per hour yet, so it really caught me a bit off guard. The chassis really reflects the car's tuning style. The one-pedal mode doesn't have aggressive deceleration, but it's still fairly linear. As for the brakes, even in sport mode, they're not super responsive. It doesn't compare to the extreme sensitivity of the Zeekr 007 GT, which shortens the brake travel by half to give you that instant bite. Thanks to its super low body, the car's steering is incredibly stable. You can hardly feel any body roll, but with a length that exceeds 5 meters, it doesn't exactly feel nimble. It can feel a bit sluggish at times. Even in sport mode, the throttle response isn't super sharp. But of course, with a 0 to 100 time of 3.7 seconds, if you bury the throttle, the car can still unleash a lot of power on demand. That said, if you're driving with passengers, I wouldn't recommend keeping it in the sportiest mode. Otherwise, the sudden bursts of acceleration could feel like a bit of a disaster, especially compared to the ultra-comfortable ride the chassis offers. Since the test car didn't allow me to activate track mode, I'm not sure if flipping that switch would give a more direct chassis feedback, but in non-track mode, if you're hoping for an excellent handling experience with the new P7, you might be a little disappointed. In my earlier static review, I expected this car to have more of a family-oriented tuning, but after driving it, I'd say it's even more of an extreme shift. Like, it's almost all about the executive style. The new P7 feels like an executive in workout clothes. It's got that super hardcore sci-fi exterior with a design that's uncompromising, but it's basically a concept car that got mass-produced. But once you're behind the wheel, what you get is all about comfort, with aggressive acceleration being the only nod to sportiness. It's got the looks, but the ride and feel are 100% executive. Now, this kind of setup is definitely more in line with what Chinese buyers want. Most people in China prefer their cars to be comfortable, not beasts that feel like they're ready to tear up the track. If this car was sold in Europe, though, the chassis would probably need a retuning. The good news is the foundation is there. It's got dual chamber air suspension and CDC dampers, so even in its current setup, the car handles body bouncing really well. I'm confident that dialing up the sportiness wouldn't require a complete overhaul. Alright, that wraps up today's review. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. We'll see you next time. Peace!